All right, let's talk about something that's a massive headache for pretty much everyone in the construction game, the construction industry scheme, or CIS. We're going to break it all down, what it is, how to stop it from choking your cash flow, and most importantly, how you get your hard-earned money back from HMRC. Let's get right into it.
So, does this sound familiar? You're out there crushing it, juggling different builds, managing your crews, chasing down invoices. You're doing all the right things to make your business grow. And then, out of nowhere, bam, you're hit with CIS penalties, your refund is frozen solid, or you've got unhappy subbies at your door wanting answers. It's the kind of stress that can literally stop your growth in its tracks.
And the pressure? Oh, it's instant. You miss just one single CIS filing deadline, and HMRC slaps you with a £100 fine. Just like that. And it's not a one-off thing either. Those fines start to snowball every single month. It's a constant money leak that, believe me, can seriously damage a business. The stakes are high right from the get-go.
So yeah, let's call it what it is, the CIS headache. We're talking about that endless, frustrating cycle of frozen refunds, those nightmare phone calls with HMRC, and the constant stress over payments. If that sounds like your life right now, trust me, you are definitely not alone. The truth is, thousands of contractors are in the trenches fighting these exact same battles every single day. We're talking refunds that are just stuck in limbo, deductions that were calculated all wrong, and that feeling of your cash flow just being strangled. It's a common, deeply frustrating, and, a totally unnecessary part of working in this industry.
Okay, so to fix this whole mess, you've got to understand it, right? So let's cut through all the confusing jargon and just explain CNS in plain, simple English.
So, at its very core, the CIS is basically HMRC's way of getting its tax money up front. When a contractor pays a subcontractor for work, they have to hold back 20% or even 30% if the subby isn't properly registered, and send it directly to the tax office. Now, it's not your final tax bill. Think of it more like a down payment on the tax and national insurance you're probably going to owe at the end of the year.
I love this analogy. It's just perfect. Imagine CIS is like that one friend who offers to hold onto your wallet for safekeeping. They swear up and down you'll get every penny back, but you're going to have to chase them for weeks and fill out a bunch of paperwork just to see your own money again. That pretty much captures the feeling, doesn't it?
Now, here's a huge point of confusion for so many people: the difference between CIS and VAT. Let's make this super simple. CIS is all about the cost of labor. It gets taken out of a payment before you even get your hands on it. VAT, on the other hand, is about the cost of goods and services, and it's added on top of an invoice. They are totally separate things, and mixing them up is just a recipe for disaster.
Okay, let's bust some myths that are probably costing people money right now. Myth number 1, you'll never see that money again. Totally false. You absolutely can get it back, but your paperwork has to be spot on. Myth 2, you can fudge the numbers, they won't notice. Wrong again. HMRC's systems are built to catch mistakes. If your numbers are off by even a pound, your refund is going nowhere. And myth 3, you only get paid back at the end of the year. Well, that's true for sole traders, but for limited companies, nope. You can actually use CIS to offset your monthly pay-ay tax bill every single month.
All right, you get what it is. Now for the part you've been waiting for. How do you actually get your money back? Let's walk through the practical step-by-step guide to reclaiming every penny you're owed. Okay, if you're a sole trader or you're in a partnership, listen up. Your refund journey all happens on your annual self-assessment tax return. And the absolute number one golden rule is the paper trail. You need every single payment and deduction statement, no exceptions. Here's a tip. The second you get one, scan it. Save it to a folder on your computer called CIS 2024-25 or something. Don't let them pile up in the van. And when you file, your numbers have to be exact, no guessing. If HMRC gets in touch, get back to them that same day. Speed is everything. Now, for you limited companies, the game is a little different because it all ties into your payroll. Every single month, you have to report the total CIS you've suffered on your Employer Payment Summary, your EPS. This is so critical. If you miss a month, you're just delaying your own refund. At the end of the year, you square everything out, file your final return, and then you have to go online and formally request the refund. And be ready for it, have all your statements scanned into one single tidy PDF file, ready to fire off the second HMRC asks for it. Look, knowing the process is half the battle, but knowing what's not to do, that's what really keeps the money flowing. So let's look at the common mistakes that stop refunds dead in their tracks, and more importantly, how you can dodge them. Pay attention here because these are the absolute refund killers. For a limited company trying to claim on your corporation tax return instead of through payroll, that's an instant no. Any mismatch, any at all, between your numbers and the contractors will freeze the whole process. And let me say this again. An invoice is not proof of CIS. You must have the official payment and deduction statement. And please, whatever you do, do not file your claim until you have every single statement for the year. Filing early just means you get stuck in the system for months. And this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? The mistakes we just talked about have real-world consequences. This isn't just about paperwork, it's about survival. For this contractor, getting the process wrong meant their cash flow was being completely choked off. That means struggling to pay wages, stalling projects, stalling the growth of the entire business. So, how do you make sure that's not your story? It's simple. You take back control. And you do that by building a simple, repeatable routine. This last section is your checklist for making CIS a boring, stress-free part of your business. This right here is your game plan. Every month, without fail, chase those statements. Log the deductions in your software. If you're a company, file that EPS. The real trick is to spot and fix any little mistakes right away. Don't let them fester. Then, once a year, you do your big final reconciliation. Hunt down any last bits of paper and submit your claim. It's about turning chaos into a process. So let's end with this thought. You are a builder. It's what you do day in and day out. You build projects, you build teams, you've built a business from the ground up. Isn't it time you applied that exact same skill and discipline to building your finances? Because building that financial control, well, that's the most important project you will ever manage.